Hello and welcome to the round 12 review after the Blues lose once again. 6 goals, 8-44 to 8 goals, 13-61 in a really scrappy, awful game of football to watch. I think for both sides. I think for neutrals watching that game last night, it was painful. Gosh. Now what? What do I say now? My experience last night was, just another one. Just another one of those games where you eventually, there are moments within the games and there are quarters and there are 5-minute patches where, you're excited and then ultimately it just leads to the same thing. I went to the MCC last night for the first time, did the dining package, had some fish before the game, oysters and the like, had the scones at halftime. It's a really different experience. So that was fun. We went in with my great uncle and got to watch the game from a different part of the MCG that I had not watched it before. And watched our boys just crumble again. I don't know if it's under the pressure. I'm not going to try and bring up another solution or try and bring up another theme. I think everything's been exhausted. It's all been said. There's nothing else left to say. There's nothing else left to do. The build up to the week, you guys would have seen my preview. I had nothing. That's the truth. I had nothing. Cripps got a little fired up after the reports, which were incorrect from Caroline Wilson. Took it to heart that his commitment to the club was questioned. If I'm honest, my initial reaction was, it's a bit odd that is what is the tipping point and not the performances over the last few weeks to really get him going. But again, at the same time, man, I'm behind him. I'm behind them all. I'm doing my very best to be not part of the problem and try and be part of the solution. And I believe the best way to do that is to get behind them, even if you may not agree with some of the things that came out. But I think because it came from a place of, openness and vulnerability and honesty, and he was being real and he was being authentic. I liked that fact. I loved Harry talking about his situation. He spoke about, how he felt about how he was playing and how it was affecting others around him and his teammates. I thought that was a fantastic display of ownership, ownership for how somebody else is experiencing, the team based off, your performances. And it's not all on Harry. Harry's a part of it, but Harry's a leader. I actually thought it was a tick. So, you see little signs there that might point to something different happening this week. Get to the game, talk to supporters before the game, and there was a sentiment around, even if we win, doesn't mean anything, which I thought, in essence, I get it. I agree, we're probably not going to be featuring in finals. We're not going to be contending this year. So I understand that point. But also at the same time, we're in this forever. We will be watching every game forever. So, we need we need a win. I need to feel a win. We need to feel a win. The players need to feel a win. Everyone just needs that winning feeling. So I disagree with the fact that it wouldn't have meant anything if we had have won the game. Melbourne played exactly how I envisaged. They're not invincible. And I mean, talk to your Melbourne supporter friends. I don't think they played very well. I think, if anything, they gave us an opportunity to win the game. And there's a notion around us. You look at the first 10, 15 minutes of a game and it kind of tells you what's going to happen. Very similar to last week or a few weeks ago, that play with Bobby Hill against Collingwood, just too much space given to him, runs into open goal. Fritsch was loose, found space. There was a moment there, McGovern didn't quite kill the ball on the wing. He didn't mark it and he didn't spoil it, and it spilled over, and the D's were clinical, hit up Petrarca on the lead goal. Then we get a Harry Mackay goal early in the game, which was great. And again, very similar to what we've seen. You know, you think you're going to give him some confidence and it's going to lead to something else and spark something else. To be fair, I thought the pressure was pretty good. I thought the application and all of it was pretty good in the first quarter, only down by 13. Not the worst quarter, maybe not pretty good. Pretty good might not be the best way to summarize it. The second quarter, you know, I try and pinpoint moments which I believe are significant, which have a greater meaning. I think we're kicking the ball outside D50, a beautiful kick. I forgot who it was. It might have been Wiedering or McGovern. Kennedy was on the lead for it and he just dropped the mark. Spillage. We were lucky to not be scored against on that play, but it just made me feel like it was a significant moment. Few soft free kicks to Melbourne. Didn't go our way. They got a goal out of it from Spargo. I actually noticed us starting to lower our eyes a little bit more. Doherty did it for Motlop, who missed on that occasion. Then we got another one for Harry. Then we had, you know, followed by a 90-second patch, which was just not good and just deflating. I think Lockie O'Brien, he kicks it out in the full. And then just a series of low IQ plays, handballs to the wrong part of where a teammate should be, or not giving it off quick enough. We get to halftime and I think we had kicked 2 goals to the half. And you're like, come on, what are we watching here? But again, the game wasn't dead. The game was there. Jack Silvani gets hurt, subbed out. Paddy Dow comes on. That was really cool to see him come on and the crowd get behind him. Like, you know, there were things happening which led me to believe that, you know, we're getting behind them. We're doing our bit as the supporter base in the crowd. You know, Lockie O'Brien out in open space, composed, lowered his eyes, kicked to Harry on the lead, who unfortunately missed that one. This was after he'd kicked his third. I noticed certain players just in certain situations not have the confidence or move to the contest with force. And it looked like a lack of confidence. I think McGovern had it there. Walsh, there was a play there. He didn't release the handball quick enough to Jordan Boyd or to anybody else. He got pinned. And then again, another 90 seconds or 2 minutes of just comical ball use. I think Kennedy marks it on the wing, handballs into a Melbourne player, spillage, get the ball back, more just a little bit off again. It was just a shocking 90 seconds once again there. Then we started seeing some positivity. McGovern looked good, took a really strong intercept mark with force. The D started kicking the ball out in the full a lot more. It started becoming a theme. We worked the ball up the field with Cottrell, which led to the Akers goal, positive. The McGovern kick to Charlie on the lead for a goal in the third. That started getting me going like, okay, we hit rock bottom and we're starting to turn it around. Like at this point, I'm latching onto anything at the moment. Any run of play, any consecutive run of play or consecutive run of goals. And then just like that, Bailey Fritsch gets a goal against the Flow. And then I started noticing the Ds, like they just wanted it the easy way. Jack Viney flopping for free kicks. Max Gawn claiming a mark, which clearly was touched. Like, so I started building some confidence that, like the Ds, like they're wanting it easy. They're not wanting to work hard. And if anything, I thought they weren't playing well and they were ahead and we were trying our guts out and just couldn't manufacture anything consistently enough. We get to the fourth. Fisher kicks a goal, which was an important shot on goal. It was a bit of a wobbler, but it doesn't matter. It went through. Jacob Wiedering takes a one-handed mark. So I'm positive. I'm thinking, we're going to pinch this. We're going to do it. And I remember thinking, if we get the next one, we're on. We were holding on defensively. We were solid. We were strong. Max Gawn goal from 50. Harry Mackay marks a ball on the lead from Sam Walsh. Rushes the snap a little bit. Misses. Always with a smart tap to Akers, who then kicked it inside 50 to Cottrell, who missed that. But it got deflating. It just got to that critical moment where the lead up, up until that last 10, 12, 13 minutes, we'll call it, was frustrating, but nonetheless, is gallant the word? I don't know. Like I could live with what I was watching and then collapse, gone, deflating. Ugh, we're still there, and we're still, we're still left wondering, what if another loss? So many losses now, consecutive losses. It's been a torturous patch of the season for everybody, and I don't know how to support, if I'm being honest. I really don't know how to support. I think we got a bit of a release with the openness and the honesty from, Cripps and Harry this week, and I felt something more connected to them, and so, the one thing, I don't think any of them watch, but the one thing I would love, not just the players, everyone at the club, you have to open up. You have to be honest with us. I think Vossi did a relatively good job of just saying it how it was. We're not good enough. From what he was saying in the presser, it almost seems as like the coaches want them to take the game on. They want them to be bold and brave, and the players just haven't got the capacity to do that right now. Everyone's affected. And so the last thing I want to do is be part of the problem. There are friends, families involved with these human beings who, they hear the criticism, they watch the criticism, they read it. So, I've got to take some accountability and responsibility for that as well, and I will. So I don't want this to be a pile-on, but also, we have to be honest and we have to be real. There is a problem. Again, something has happened. This group was galvanized last year. It is not galvanized right now, not for long enough. And if you're not good enough for long enough, it's not good enough. 3 quarters won't cut it. 3.5 quarters won't cut it. That is how difficult this competition is. That's how difficult elite sport is. And it's tough because we will focus on the outcome as supporters, because the outcome of a win gives us that feeling of, gives us a spark, it gives us energy to support more and feel good. And for them as well, I'm sure it does, but they're in a situation where they focus too much on the result. They lose track of the moment, and they've got to stay in the moment. It's a conundrum, and it's difficult for everybody involved. So, I just want to know, how can we help? How can I help? I don't want to be part of the problem. I really don't. I'm doing my very best to not be part of the problem. What I experience now with the channel is, honestly, it's a management of the community. It's a management of emotions, and it's just to get us through to the next week at this stage. That's what it is. We go through game day up and about. We feel disappointed. We have mentioned everything there is to mention about the football club. Everyone has had the spotlight put on them. Everything has had the spotlight put on them. I don't know what else to talk about. So there's that. The club have to be real. They have to be real. That the disconnect between club and fan right now is it's happened again. We're going like this. I don't relate to the messaging. I don't relate to the club. A few of the fan cams last night brought up an interesting point. Like we love the club. We love the club for the history and what it still stood for, not what it stands for right now. So there's that disconnect right now. I think as a sporting team, there's no life. I think as a community club, and I think as a platform to do good for the world and the community, I think we tick a lot of boxes. I think as a financial institution, I think we tick a lot of boxes. But the sporting element of the football club is not good. The department, everyone needs to take accountability. We can't keep papering over the cracks. Where is the high performance environment that we were promised last year? Why hasn't that catchphrase continued on this year? I'm left asking for more honesty. Like, who is going to be honest and accountable for this? Who is going to take ownership? And it's not one person. Like, everybody needs to do it. Everybody, including the fans, including myself, all of us need to take ownership. Because, I mentioned that I felt this death of sorts in the Brisbane game. And then we watched last week, and this is 2021. I'm watching it. It's a repeat. I've covered this extensively every day, every single day, properly, every week, properly covered it in depth. I'm watching 2021 again. I'm watching our players. Mate, they're battlers at the moment. The talent pool that we have in this team right now, they look like battlers out there. And that is wild to me. I look on the field, I look at individuals, and I love individuals because of what they're capable of. And I think we've got plenty of them. But collectively, they are just not in sync. Not in sync, not enough. And it's not fair to say that they don't care, because they do. Do they care enough? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Do they care enough is the question. But yeah, there's no collective spirit right now. And we need, how do you find that? Last year, we had a few hooks. New coach, Vossi, the man that motivates them and makes them run through brick walls. They all said it every week. The return of Sam Doherty as well galvanized the group. At the moment, we are motivated by external. We're motivated by what the media say. We're motivated by how we let down our teammates and other people. But intrinsically, within themselves, like, why do they play? Why do they play football? We might need to strip it back to that and get them going again, playing on instinct. Because, they may have just lost the enjoyment for it because of the pressure. Like, there's too much noise. There's too much noise for them right now. And part of me feels sorry for them. Part of me puts it into perspective and says they're footballers, they're athletes. And then the coaches, like, it's football, it's sport, not just the players, everyone involved. And then there are people out there that have got real pressure in their lives, So I put it into perspective, and then, depending on what moment you talk to me, I feel one way or another. But I'm lost. I don't know how to support. I think through this, it's just keeping people at bay, if I'm being honest. But yeah, you've got to open up. The boys, like, keep opening up. The supporters are behind you. That's always going to be the case. We're behind the club. The players will come and go. But I don't want to watch these guys become the same players that I've watched my whole life. I don't want to watch them become battlers again. They're not. So where do you find belief? What do you do for the rest of the year? We've got 11 more games to go. Ugh. It's going to turn, right? Like, something's going to happen. Interesting fact. 4 years ago on this day, Pommy joined the channel. I was in Shanghai. We played Essendon. It was the infamous Bolton game against the Bombers. Pommy joined 4 years ago, and 4 years later, we scored 44 points. Now, in China, 4 is a very bad number. It is the symbol of death. It's an unlucky number. So for those of you who are into your numerology, there may be something in that. I found a link there. I thought that was quite ironic. But look, I said this last night. We're watching this for life. I'm not gonna not watch. There may come a point in time where I don't go anymore, genuinely, but I will always watch. So I don't want to get caught up too much in what's happening in this week, in this moment. And I'm mindful of, you don't want to say and do things that are going to hurt you in the long run. But the football club, the whole thing, we need honesty. We need more accountability. We need realness, and we need a better connection with our people, our fans. Because I see so many different variations of a Carlton fan. I see a common love, but I watch that love diminish week by week, year by year. So, yeah, there's a long one. Sorry for that. Just want to get it off my chest. There's my fan cam. What about you? I have 2 questions. Number 1, what did you think about the game? Document it. And number 2, why do you support the Carlton Football Club? In 1 sentence. I want this to be the week where I ask the question and you list it, and we'll look back on it in a long time from now. But why do you support the Carlton Football Club? And through the answers and the different variations of answers, there will be some common themes that I'm interested to see. If I think what I'm going to see happens, then we'll read through it. Chat to you then. See you soon. Go Blues.